there's a great article by Matt Gelb about the Phillies game. We were covering a little bit like 5 minutes ago what went down there and how JT Realmuto essentially was saying, like, my job is to slow the pitchers down. I can't do that anymore. I mean, I remember Marcus Stroman said late last night after his game, like, I ran out of breath. So what were your thoughts on that front? You're going to get complaints here, and some of them we understand and we're listening, not that they're necessarily going to change.
I didn't perceive Real Muto's comments as complaints, as more simply an adjustment to a new reality. And there is a new reality. And that game sped up yesterday. And Eric and Todd know this, and anyone who's played the game knows this. The game, while it looks slow at times, can really speed up. And it's true for managers, it's true for players, it's true for everybody who is involved in the action. And that's what happened with Nola. And Real Muto's point was that, hey, I wasn't able to do what I normally could do. Now, he didn't offer that as an excuse. And we saw some other issues too. Karinchak with Cleveland before the homer by France, a 3-run homer that decided that game. He had a problem. He is a guy that has not been that quick, and he had to adjust. And Hunter Green had an automatic ball called on him before a home run that he gave up to O'Neal Cruz. So there were these things that happened yesterday, and the Phillies game was maybe the most interesting and prominent among them. And it just shows, again, that there is going to be an adjustment period, and certain situations will be more difficult than others. And pitch calm comes into play, too. The crowd was loud in Seattle, and that caused some problems for Karinchak with Cleveland and that whole scenario there. So I am interested to see how this plays out. On balance, there weren't that many incidents yesterday at all, really. It was pretty tame, and I expect it's going to get even fewer as we go along. But it is a different game, and in my view, it's a better game. The dead time is out. It's still baseball. It's still 9 innings. It's still 27 outs. All the things we love, and perhaps more athleticism too. But the Real Muto thing was interesting to me because we didn't see that in spring training. Games don't speed up on players in spring training. The outcomes don't matter. But now that the outcomes matter, now that we're in the 162-game championship season, a little bit different, and that's what we saw in the Phillies game.
Are we going to see 3,402 stolen bases this year?
I don't know. We were debating this last night. I was involved in a panel discussion with some other athletic writers, and the question we got from the audience was, which rule is going to have the biggest impact? And I said the bigger bases and the disengagement rule because it seems to me that stolen bases are going to go way up. Now, Eno Saris from The Athletic, who's our statistical expert, he believed that the batting average on balls in play, while not varying so much individual to individual, he believes a big jump is coming, and that will obviously have a huge effect. But, Eric, to get to your question, there is no doubt that there are going to be more stolen bases, more stolen base attempts. Just look at the opening day numbers this year versus last. 21 steals yesterday, 6 steals opening day last year. Now, it's coming off a lockout last year. Maybe that had an effect, but it's a different game. And you're going to see more running, and that's a healthy thing, in my opinion. Tougher on the catchers, no doubt, but good for the game, good action.